To another live video review. I do these usually once a week, and I have been doing them on Fridays around 5 p.m. Today is Wednesday, and I felt like being a little bit spontaneous. I also didn't record a video last week, and I'm also thinking of switching up the schedule, maybe doing some more regular videos. So one thing I would love to hear from you is, would you like me to do live videos multiple times a week? I'm also considering, emphasis on the word considering, doing vlogs again. I have been thinking a lot about it. I personally love watching vlogs. I just find them so entertaining. It's fun to just like go out and about with people. And I have done them many times in the past for this channel, for some of my other channels on YouTube. Yes, I have multiple YouTube channels if you didn't know that already. And I've just been considering it. I'm not quite sure how I would go about that at the moment because I need to upgrade my iPhone. Maybe when I get my new iPhone, whenever that happens, I will do it on there because I find recording on an iPhone is just so convenient, as is doing live videos with my webcam. So I like to keep things pretty simple, but maybe we'll switch things up. We'll see. In the meantime, I'd love to hear your feedback on if you'd like to see multiple live videos a week. I love doing live videos because I feel like they're very authentic. There's no editing. You get to see the real, uncensored self, and you also get to interact with me. So I encourage you to be here live. You can turn on the notifications. You can subscribe to the channel to be notified when I go live, and you can show up and write me some live comments, and we can make it a conversation. So to the point of this video, and what I normally do in these videos is talk about products that I've been loving lately, and I have a bunch to discuss. One just popped into my head that I actually didn't plan on talking about today, and that is this brand new vegan burger place in Los Angeles. So if you didn't know this, I live in LA, and there are an abundance of vegan restaurants here. We're very fortunate. So if you live around here, or you're planning a trip, or if you've never been here, I really encourage you to try to come sometime because the plant-based food options here are spectacular. And what's neat about this new place, which is called Monty's Good Burger, they have one location currently in Koreatown, and then their second location is opening up very soon in Riverside. And I did post about this in my Instagram stories, by the way. That is a really great way to see more like on-the-spot videos of things that I'm doing. So my Instagram stories at EcoVeganGal, I shared footage of the food that I was eating there. They have burgers and Caesar salad, tater tots and potato chips, milkshakes, and it's like this little spot that's just really cozy, and their food was fantastic. So their plan, if these their first two locations go well, is to open more, maybe across the country. I would love to see a place like this really expand. We've got restaurants like Veggie Grill, and they're doing their best to get across the country. So it's kind of like, who's going to be the first chain vegan fast food? They're popping up in various parts of the U.S. and around the world, and you know, how great would it be if you could just drive down the highway and find vegan restaurants all over the place? That's what I hope for. So I'll link to Monty's in the description if you want to check them out, and give them some love, follow them on Instagram, and hopefully you'll have a chance to stop in there. So the other products I'm going to share with you, maybe something that you can get delivered to you. I'm a big fan of online shopping, not only because it's really convenient, and you can actually do some great price shopping, but you can also order it no matter where you live. And definitely all of this is available in the US. One of these companies, I'll have to check and see how their delivery works. They were delivered to me, but I don't know if they are part of a delivery service. I'm not sure, but I will find out about that. And if you live outside of the US, you should definitely try to find either the same exact products online or in stores, or something very similar. So, where do we begin? I kind of like gearing up to the ones that I'm like really, really excited about. They're all fantastic. I will start off with something that I love so much that I had 4 servings of it, I think in the past like 30 something hours. It's definitely been less than 2 days because I think I got my delivery of this. Was it yesterday. Sometimes the days just blur together. Maybe it was the day before. I think it was yesterday. And I got sent these. I've had them before. I love them. They're so satisfying. And that is Waterloo's sparkling water. I've mentioned them in another video. They have some really great flavors. They're similar to LaCroix, which I feel like gets a lot of attention. I don't feel like Waterloo gets nearly as much attention as it deserves. It is so tasty. I think I actually like it better than LaCroix. I have a different like sensory reaction to it. Like it just is very satisfying. And you know what? It actually reminds me of a combination of LaCroix and Spindrift, which is another one I love. Spindrift is like very fresh fruit tasting because they add fruit juice to it, versus these, I think they use, natural flavors. So these have a little bit more of like, not artificial, but they don't taste quite as fresh as something like a Spindrift would. But I think the flavors are a little bit more authentic tasting to me than LaCroix. I still really like LaCroix, so don't get upset if you're like a huge LaCroix fan. But if you are, maybe branch out and try another brand. I know that these guys are growing bigger, so they should be more available, and I'm almost 100% sure that you can get them on Amazon. I will link to everything I can that's on Amazon because I just find it so convenient. That will be in the description. And if these products are not available on Amazon, then I'll just give you the website and you can go try to find them. So that would be the first. I think I've had like 2 a day, like 2 yesterday and 2 today. Another product that I've been a huge fan of for a long time, and they just sent me some to fill up my refrigerator, and I just want to make sure you know about this brand because they are just so wonderful and high quality, is Harmless Harvest coconut water. It's all organic coconut water. I think this is the best tasting coconut water that I've ever had in a bottle. And they are very mindful of their sourcing, of the whole process, and they're really great people too. I've known them since they just got started. The only downside is right now I'm doing a very low sugar and low carbohydrate diet, and sadly these are very high in carbs and sugar. So that's why I've been drinking a ton of sparkling water and not very much coconut water. I literally have like a sip of this every like day or two, whereas in the past, if I wasn't restricting the sugar and just being more mindful of it, that's a better way of putting it, I would have downed one of these bottles like every day, and it would not be in my fridge. The plus side is that my fridge is just full of delicious coconut water that I can have whenever I feel like it. And then similarly, I just got a bunch of really cool products from this one brand called, I think it's pronounced Bao Cultured, and they sent me a number of things, including their line of kombuchas, which similarly to the coconut water I am not really drinking, which is probably the biggest downside to not having a lot of sugar and carbohydrates is not being able to drink kombucha regularly. It breaks my heart. I'm a huge kombucha fan. However, I made an exception just to try this. I had a few sips of this and shared it with some friends. We all loved it. I just have tried the hibiscus flavor thus far, and they sent me a few others. So over time, I'll try them and I'll give you an update on what the other flavors are like. And this is just so, so lovely. Another organic kombucha that's very cultured. Bao does all of these cultured products that are just so lovely, very flavorful, great ingredients, and you can just taste their passion, which is really important to me. What I have been trying and putting on my food to spice things up a little bit, literally, is their line of hot sauce. Oh, this is so satisfying. It is just incredibly lovely, and I'm checking right now. There's like a couple carbohydrates in this, but there's some fiber in it too, so that's good. And they have a few different flavors. They sent me the original, the mango, which is so tasty, the jalapeno, and my favorite one is the chipotle flavor. I love chipotle, and this is just perfect. They're really, really fantastic hot sauces. So they're great for adding to whatever you want to spice it up. You know, you can just put the original and it just has that that spice flavor. And if you want the chipotle flavor, you can add that, or the mango or the jalapenos, so you can kind of adjust it to whatever dish that you're doing. And there are a lot of hot sauces out there on the market, but not many of them are organic, and then not many of them are cultured in this way or fermented with probiotics in them. So this is like ultra great, and it's just kind of nice. They're also, I think all their products are raw, so that's a nice perk too. Next up, I will say this tea that I just received yesterday, and I've already made a few batches of it. I'm a big fan of matcha green tea. This is a really nice premium organic matcha powder. I'm always looking to try new brands, although my palate isn't quite refined enough to tell a major difference. I haven't done a side-by-side test. But what did I do with this? Oh, you know what it was? I did a side-by-side with this and the new whisk that they sent me to go along. They actually sent me a little kit with a, oh, here it is, with a matcha scoop or spoon, which I've never owned before. So this is really cool because, let me show you. It like gives you the perfect serving of it. Usually I use a measuring spoon, or I'll just eyeball it when I'm mixing matcha in to make like a latte or something. But you just use this scoop, and then you get the perfect serving size. This looks a little small, so you could do a few scoops if you want. It all depends on how you want to prepare it and how rich you want it to be. I think you can really adjust it to your flavor profile. So what you do is put that in a bowl of hot water, and actually what I didn't realize is maybe it's true with all matcha that you can mix it into hot or cold water. You never want to put it in boiling water. I knew that, but I guess I always thought I had to put it in hot water to dissolve it and then make it cold, like with ice. But I think it mixes really well into cold water. So sometimes I'll use my blender, but the traditional way to whisk up and dissolve the matcha is to use a matcha whisk. Now, I have had a matcha whisk for years. A friend gave it to me, and I knew that I wasn't storing it properly. I've had it for probably 10 years or so, and it's actually stayed up in good shape, all things considered. But I was thrilled when this company, Tenzo, sent me this little new whisk and the stand. So that means that your whisk stays in perfect shape. And what I did is a side-by-side comparison. I put two bowls out and used both whisks to see if they made a difference. And the truth was, they didn't make a difference in the consistency of the matcha, but they felt completely different. Like this felt is wider, maybe because it's on that stand and it's brand new, and it also has like a little curved tips, whereas the matcha whisk that I've had for years is just straight down and it's a little bit more narrow. So again, I'm not an expert. I don't know if there's like a major difference between two different styles, but I just feel like this looks really pretty and I get to take really good care of it too. I think the last thing that I have for you today is probably the thing that I think is most original, is very exciting, and also sad because it's loaded with sugar, and a good kind of sugar at least. But it's heartbreaking to have products like this and not be able to indulge in them, or choosing not to indulge in them as much as I typically would. So maybe when I start adding more sugars into my diet, I will be okay with this. But I emailed this company called Run Amok Maple Syrup because I heard about their incredible maple syrup flavors. And when I emailed them, I was really excited because I was still consuming maple syrup pretty frequently on pancakes or making certain desserts with it. I love that. And I love that they are an entirely organic maple syrup from Vermont, and they're in glass bottles. They have beautiful designs. You'll see as I hold up each one. But the best part is they have all these flavor infusions. I've only tried one of them because I didn't want to open up all the bottles and like only have a tiny bit. And I don't want it to like, I don't know, does maple syrup go bad? Probably not. I think it has a pretty substantial shelf life. But anyways, I'm going to hold off for a little bit. But they have a ginger, a cardamom. I'm really into cardamom right now. A elderberry. I cannot wait to try this one. I think this is the prettiest packaging. They're smoked with pecan wood. I've talked about smoked maple syrup in the past. It is so lovely. It reminds me of when I was a kid, when I ate meat. I used to pour maple syrup on bacon. And you could still do that with vegan bacon if you wanted to, but I just remember that flavor combination of the smokiness. And so every time I use smoked maple syrup on pancakes or something, it's like bringing me back to those childhood days. And so it's just like a nostalgia thing, but it just tastes so good if you like smoky flavors. And the one flavor I have tried that I think is so special and so exciting is the jasmine tea infused maple syrup. Every time a friend comes over here, I'm like, you gotta try this. And I've been making matcha with this. I like making drinks with maple syrup is really fun. In fact, when they sent this to me, they gave me all these cool recipe cards so you can make like cocktails and like, I don't know, a ton of other things that were on that list, but you can actually do a lot with maple syrup. And I am a huge fan of jasmine tea. The flavor in here is perfect. It's not super strong. It's very subtle. It's like a note of jasmine tea. And it's so lovely in a matcha. I bet this would be pretty good in a coffee as well. Maybe I'll try that next. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't think that they were going to send me these huge bottles. So I'm going to have maple syrup for a long time. And I can't wait to indulge in that again. So that is what I have for you here today. And, oh, wow, I didn't know this. So someone in the comments just said, Soup Plantation has a vegan club with food to go? What? I have to look into that. That's awesome. Thank you for the news. And then I was also asked, what do I think about alkaline 9.5 pH water? Well, I think it's fantastic. I think alkaline is important for our bodies. Sometimes our diets are way too acidic, and so alkaline water is a great way to help us become more alkaline, and it's just makes sense, right? Shouldn't water be one of the best things that we're putting in our body? I talked about in a previous video some alkaline coffee. I think it's called the Alkaline Coffee Company, and they make their coffee with alkaline water. I think that's great. Beyond that, I'm not an expert in, the alkaline definition and all that stuff. I just know that you want your body to be as alkaline as possible. Not too alkaline, I believe. You got to find that balance. But a lot of illnesses and just challenges with our bodies can come from being too acidic. So I think that being mindful of anything alkaline that you're putting in your body is really important. So I would look it up. That would be my opinion, but certainly not like an expert point of view on all of that. So thank you for asking, though, and thanks for letting me know about Soup Plantation. I'm going to look that up. I've never actually been to a soup plantation because I remember years ago when I thought about going with friends or something, I looked it up and the options didn't really appeal to me or seem like they had that many. So it's so exciting when chains and major restaurants add a ton of vegan options. So thank you for sharing that with me. That is what I have for you today. I have a bunch of things planned for you in the future. And speaking of which, I just relaunched the Eco Vegan Gal newsletter. If you haven't signed up for that, I really encourage you to, because I'm putting so much work into it and trying to really make it so it's easily scannable and visually appealing and contains a lot of information that's going to appeal to you. So you can sign up for that. That link will be down below in the description field. One just went out today, and then I'm planning on doing it every week. So hopefully there's tons of great information for you there, and that's a really easy way for you to reply to me and keep in touch. You can always find me at EcoVeganGal on Instagram. Like I mentioned, my stories are a great way to see what I'm doing on a very regular basis. And Facebook, I'm doing a lot of content on there. I'm just really trying to do whatever I can to help support you with your eco-vegan lifestyle and just share my life with you. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. And I would love any feedback that you have about the future of this channel in terms of more videos you'd like to see and anything really. I just love hearing from you. So I look forward to your comments. You can private message me or email me if you prefer. And I will see you very soon for the next video. Until then, I'm wishing you all the very best with your eco-vegan lifestyle. Bye.